My name is James Langridge. I am a member at large of the Northeast Iowa Council and sort of an honorary member of the executive board. I was the scout executive, the CEO of this council from January of 1964 through November of 1968. So I was here for about 5 years as the scout executive. Oh my, over 80 years ago, I became a Cub. They didn't call them Cub Scouts back in those days. It was a very, the program was very in its infancy. So in 1937, I became a Cub Scout. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about the Cubs back then. Like I say, it was in its infancy, and we wore blue shirts, and our cap was kind of like a baseball cap. So a lot of people kind of mistook us for a junior softball league. So it was a while before Cub Scouting really got recognized across the country. I had in the den that I was in, there was a young man, or a young boy at that time, who became a very international TV star, and his name is Andy Williams. Okay, I became an Eagle Scout 75 years ago in March of 1942. Oh my, scouting in some ways has changed a lot, and in some ways they've remained pretty stable. Let me illustrate how things have continued on. The Scout Oath and Law that was established 107 years ago, when they came out with the first Scout Handbook for Boy Scouts of America, the Scout Oath and Law was established. And those same words that were established then continue to be in force today. Also, the patrol method that was established by Baden Powell is still used in the scouting program. And I wanted to think of the buddy system that we use in swimming and on camping trips and so forth is still in use today. Changes, oh my, lots of changes in advancement. When I received my Eagle back in 1942, there were 13 merit badges that were required. Of those 13 merit badges, 5 of them are still required: first aid, camping, cooking, life-saving, and swimming. But I also had to earn bird study and pioneering and pathfinding. None of those badges are required today. Pioneering and bird study are still merit badges. Pathfinding was eliminated, but they've been replaced by merit badges now in family life, communications, and personal management. So you can see how they have changed over the years. Other changes, of course, when I became a Cub Scout, the only female member of the Boy Scouts of America was a den mother. Now we have female members all over the place. Members of the executive board, scout masters, cub masters, members of the professional service. So the women have invaded the Boy Scouts of America. Also, the senior program has included girl membership. Girls 14 or older can be explorers or adventurers. So they've also entered the youth program as well. Well, I would say the people that I was involved with, both the youth members, members of my patrol, of my troop, members that I became acquainted with on camping experiences, the leaders. So I would say the leadership and the fellowship, the partnership that we've gained is a big part of my staying in scouting. I would say my camping experiences are probably the things that I remember most, both with my troop, and then later on in our council camp, and then I had experiences at the Philmont Scout Ranch and at National Jamborees. So camping has been a big part of my experiences in scouting. Well, let's go back to that Scout Oath and Law. I think that's a requirement that every Boy Scout had to read and understand as he joined the program. At that time, Cub Scouts and the senior programs had different entry requirements, I guess. But now the Scout Oath and Law is universal in all the programs. And I think the virtues that are established in that really set my lifestyle. And I've tried to live by all those throughout my entire life. I think I worked in summer camps when I was in high school and in college with a short period of time out when I was in the Navy. And during that time I worked with a lot of professional scouters, and I thought that would look like a pretty good profession to get into. And beside the fact that I had seen what scouting had done for young people, for boys. I have seen boys go down to Philmont, for instance, and after our 2-week experience there, they come back as young men. So I think scouting has a big influence on young people, and I guess that's the real motivating source that kept me in scouting for many, many years.